as an inheritance the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, that you may observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may prosper. The law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Not afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, Pass through the camp and command the people, saying, Prepare provisions for yourselves, for within 3 days you will cross which the Lord your God is giving you to possess. And to the Reubenites, the Gadites, and half the tribe of Manasseh, Joshua spoke, saying, Remember the word which Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, saying, The Lord your God is giving you rest, and is giving you your wives, your little ones, and your livestock shall remain in the land which Moses gave you on this side of the Jordan. But you shall pass before your brethren armed, all your mighty men of valor, and help them, until the Lord has given your brethren rest, as he gave you. And they also have taken possession of the land which the Lord your God is giving them. Then you shall return to the land of your possession, and enjoy it, which Moses the Lord's servant gave you on this side of the Jordan, toward the south.
Mama
So they
kantoka
answered Joshua,
40
saying, All that you
umwezi.
command us, we will
So
do, and wherever you
ni
send
request
us,
imetumwa 40K.
just as we
Kuna mambo nataka kufanya, ni mambo
so we
nikuongeleshe
will
mimi.
lead you.
Sijui ningekuongelesha
Only
nitakopesha 20,000.
whoever
Hapo
rebels
mwezi wa
against you
11
and does
nikurudishie.
not keep your
Nimeambiwa hivyo.
word in
So
all that you command him shall be good
ujue
today.
venye utatupanga na 20K.
Be strong and of good
Mamako
courage.
anataka 40K this month.
Joshua chapter 2.
Nitakwenda Nairobi.
Then Joshua from Acacia Grove to spy secretly, saying, Go, view the land, especially Jericho. So they went and came to the house of a harlot named Rahab, and lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, Behold, men have come here tonight from the children of Israel to search out the country. So the king of Jericho sent to Rahab, saying, Bring out the men who have entered your house, for they have come to search out all the country. Then the woman took the 2 men and hid them. So she said, Yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they were from. And it happened as the gate was being shut, when it was dark, that the men went out. Where the men went, I do not know. Pursue them quickly, for you may overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof, and hidden them with the stalks of flax, which she had laid in order on the roof. Then the men pursued them. Who pursued them had gone out, they shut the gate. Now before they lay down, she came up to them on the roof, and said to the men, I know that the Lord has given you the land, that the terror of you has fallen on us, and that all the inhabitants of the land are faint-hearted because of you. For we dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the 2 kings of the Amorites who were on the other side of the Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom you utterly destroyed. And as soon as we heard these things, our hearts melted. Neither did there remain anyone because of you, For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and on earth beneath. Now therefore, I beg you, swear to me by the Lord, since I have shown you kindness, that you also will show kindness to my father's house, and give me a true token, and spare my father, my mother, my brothers, my sisters, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death. So the men answered her, Our lives for yours, if none of you tell this business of ours. And it shall be, when the Lord has given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with you. Then she let them down by a rope through the window, for her house was on the city wall. She dwelt on the wall. And she said, Pursuers meet you. Hide there 3 days, until the pursuers have returned. Afterward, you may go your way.
Hi to Amos. How
So
are
the men
you,
said to her, We will be
Amos?
blameless of this oath of yours, which you have made us swear, unless, when we come into the land, you bind this line of scarlet cord in the window, through which you let us down, and unless you bring your father, brothers, and all your father's household to your own home. So it shall be, that whoever goes outside the doors of your house into the street, his blood shall be on his own head, and we will be guiltless. And whoever is with you in the house, his blood shall be if a hand is laid on him. And if you tell this business of ours, then we will be free from your oath which you made us swear. Then she said, According to your words, so be it. And she sent them away, and they departed. And she bound the scarlet cord in the window. They departed and went to the mountain, and stayed there 3 days, until the pursuers returned. The pursuers all along the way, but did not find them. So the 2 men returned, descended from the mountain, and crossed over. And they came to Joshua, the son of Nun, and told him all that had befallen them. And they said to Joshua, Truly, the Lord has delivered all the land into our hands. For indeed, all the inhabitants of the country are faint-hearted because of us. Joshua, chapter 3. Then Joshua rose early in the morning, and they set out from Jordan, he and all the children of Israel, and lodged there before they crossed over. So it was, after 3 days, that the officers went through the camp. And they commanded the people, saying, When you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priests, the Levites, bearing it, then you shall set out from your place and go after it. Yet there shall be a space between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. Do not come near it, that you may know the way by which you must go, for you have not passed this way before. And Joshua said to the people, Sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. Then Joshua spoke to the priests, saying, Take up the ark of the covenant, and cross over before the people. So they took up the ark of the covenant, and went before the people. And the Lord said to Joshua, This day I will begin to exalt you in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that, as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. You shall command the priests who bear the ark of the covenant, saying, When you have come to the edge of the water of the Jordan, you shall stand in the Jordan. So Joshua said to the children of Israel, Come here and hear the words of the Lord your God. And Joshua said, By this you shall know that the living God is among you, and that he will without fail drive out from before you the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Hivites, and the Perizzites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Jebusites. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth is crossing over before you. Take for yourselves 12 men from the tribes of Israel, one man from every tribe. And it shall come to pass, as soon as the soles of the feet of the priests who bear the ark of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest in the waters of the Jordan, that the waters of the Jordan shall be cut off, the waters that come down from upstream. So it was, when the people set out from their camp to cross over the Jordan, with the priests bearing the ark of the covenant before the people, and as those who bore the ark came to the Jordan, and the feet of the priests who bore the ark dipped in the edge of the water, for the Jordan overflows all its banks during the whole time of harvest, that the waters which came down from upstream stood still, and rose in a heap very far away at Adam, the city that is beside Zaratan. So the waters that went down into the sea of the Arabah failed, and were cut off, and the people crossed over opposite Jericho. Then the priests who bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the midst of the Jordan, and all Israel crossed over on dry ground, until all the people had crossed completely over the Jordan. Joshua chapter 4. And it came to pass, when all the people had completely crossed over the Jordan, that the Lord spoke to Joshua, saying, Take for yourselves 12 men from the people, one man from every tribe, and command them, saying, Take for yourselves 12 stones from here, out of the midst of the Jordan, from the place where the priests' feet stood firm. You shall carry them over with you, and leave them in the lodging place where you lodge tonight. Then Joshua called the 12 men, one man from every tribe, and Joshua said to them, Cross over before the ark of the Lord your God into the midst of the Jordan, and each one of you take up a stone on his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, that this may be a sign among you when your children ask in time to come, saying, What do these stones mean to you? Then you shall answer them, that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it crossed over the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. And these stones shall be for a memorial to the children of Israel forever. And the children of Israel did so, just as Joshua commanded, and took up 12 stones from the midst of the Jordan, as the Lord had spoken to Joshua, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, and carried them over with them to the place where they lodged, and laid them down there. Then Joshua set up 12 stones in the midst of the Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priests who bore the ark of the covenant stood, and they are there to this day. So the priests who bore the ark stood in the midst of the Jordan until everything was finished that the Lord had commanded Joshua to speak to the people, according to all that Moses had commanded Joshua. And the people hurried and crossed over. Then it came to pass, when all the people had completely crossed over, that the ark of the Lord and the priests crossed over in the presence of the people. And the men of Reuben, the men of Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh crossed over armed before the children of Israel, as Moses had spoken to them. About 40,000, prepared for war, crossed over before the Lord for battle to the plains of Jericho. On that day, the Lord exalted Joshua in the sight of all Israel, as they had feared Moses all the days of his life. Then the Lord spoke to Joshua, saying, Command the priests who bear the ark of the testimony to come up from the Jordan. Joshua therefore commanded the priests, saying, Come up from the Jordan. As when the priests who bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord had come from the midst of the Jordan, and the soles of the priests' feet touched the dry land, that the waters of the Jordan returned to their place and overflowed all its banks as before. Now the people came up from the Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and they camped in Gilgal. Those 12 stones which they took out of the Jordan, Joshua set up in Gilgal. Then he spoke to the children of Israel, saying, When your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What are these stones? Then you shall let your children know, saying, Israel crossed over this Jordan on dry land. For the Lord your God dried up the waters of the Jordan before you, until you had crossed over, as the Lord your God did to the Red Sea, which he dried up before us until we had crossed over, that all the peoples of the earth may know the hand of the Lord, that it is mighty, that you may fear the Lord your God forever. Joshua chapter 5. So it was, when all the kings of the Amorites who were on the west side of the Jordan, and all the kings of the Canaanites who were by the sea, heard that the Lord had dried up the waters of the Jordan from before the children of Israel until we had crossed over, that their heart melted, and there was no spirit in them any longer because of the children of Israel. At that time, the Lord said to Joshua, Make flint knives for yourself, and circumcise the sons of Israel again the second time. So Joshua made flint knives for himself, and circumcised the sons of Israel at the hill of the foreskins. And this is the reason why Joshua circumcised them. All the people who came out of Egypt who were males, all the men of war, had died in the wilderness on the way after they had come out of Egypt. For all the people who came out had been circumcised. The way as they came out of Egypt had not been circumcised. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the people who were men of war, who came out of Egypt, were consumed, because to whom the Lord swore that he would not show them the land which the Lord had sworn to their fathers that he would give us, a land flowing with milk and honey. Then Joshua circumcised their sons, whom he raised up in their place. For they were uncircumcised, because they had not been circumcised on the way. So it was, when they had finished circumcising all the people, that they stayed in their places in the camp till they were healed. Then the Lord said to Joshua, This day I have rolled away the reproach of Egypt from you. Therefore, the name of the place is called Gilgal to this day. Now the children of Israel camped in Gilgal, and kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month, at twilight on the plains of Jericho. And they ate of the produce of the land on the day after the Passover, unleavened bread and parched grain, on the very same day. Then the manna ceased on the day after they had eaten the produce of the land, and the children of Israel no longer, but they ate the food of the land of Canaan that year. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted his eyes and looked, and behold, a man stood opposite him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went to him and said, Are you for us or for our adversaries? So he said, No, but as commander of the army of the Lord, I have now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and worshipped, and said to him, What does my Lord say to his servant? Then the commander of the Lord's army said to Joshua, Take your sandal off your foot, for the place where you stand is holy. And Joshua did so. Joshua chapter 6. Now Jericho was securely shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out, and none came in. And the Lord said to Joshua, See, I have given Jericho into your hand, its king, and the mighty men of valor. You shall march around the city, all you men of war. You shall go all around the city once. This you shall do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark. But the 7th day you shall march around the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow the trumpets. It shall come to pass, when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, that all the people shall shout with a great shout. Then the wall of the city will fall down flat, and the people shall go up, every man straight before him. Then Joshua, the son of Nun, called the priests and said to them, Take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord. And he said to the people, Proceed, and march around the city, and let him who is armed advance before the ark. So it was, when Joshua had spoken to the people, that the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the Lord advanced and blew the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them. The armed men went before the priests who blew the trumpets, and the rear guard came after the ark, while the priests continued blowing the trumpets. Now Joshua had commanded the people, saying, You shall not shout or make any noise with your voice, nor shall a word proceed out of your mouth, until again I say to you, Shout, then you shall shout. So he had the ark of the Lord circle the city, going around it once. Then they came into the camp and lodged in the camp. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord. Then 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord went on continually and blew with the trumpets. And the armed men went before them. But the rear guard came after the ark of the Lord, while the priests continued blowing the trumpets. And the 2nd day they marched around the city once and returned to the camp. So they did 6 days. But it came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early, about the dawning of the day, and marched around the city 7 times in the same manner. On that day only they marched around the city 7 times. And the 7th time it happened, when the priests blew the trumpets, that Joshua said to the people, Shout, for the Lord has given you the city. Now the city shall be doomed by the Lord to destruction, it and all who are in it. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all who are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. And you, by all means, abstain from the accursed things, lest you become accursed, and make the camp of Israel a curse, and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of bronze and iron are consecrated to the Lord. They shall come into the treasury of the Lord. So the people shouted when the priests blew the trumpets. And it happened when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat. Then the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, ox and sheep and donkey, with the edge of the sword. But Joshua had said to the 2 men who had spied out the country, Go into the harlot's house, and from there bring out the woman and all that she has, as you swore to her. And the young men who had been spies went in and brought out Rahab, her father, her mother, her brothers, and all that she had. So they brought out all her relatives and left them outside the camp of Israel. But they burned the city and all that was in it with fire. Only the silver and gold, and the vessels of bronze and iron, they put into the treasury of the house of the Lord. And Joshua spared Rahab the harlot, her father's household, and all that she had. So she dwells in Israel to this day, because she hid the messengers whom Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. Time, saying, Cursed be the man before the Lord, who rises up and builds this city Jericho. He shall lay its foundation with his firstborn, and with his youngest he shall set up its gates. So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame spread throughout all the country. Joshua, chapter 7. But the children of Israel committed a trespass regarding the accursed things. For Achan, the son of Abdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took of the accursed things, so the anger of the Lord burned against the children of Israel. Now Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is beside Bethaven, on the east side of Beth, and spoke to them, saying, Go up and spy out the country. So the men went up and spied out Ai. And they returned to Joshua and said to him, Do not let all the people go up, but let about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and attack Ai. Do not weary all the people there, for the people of Ai are few. So about 3,000 men went up there from the people, but they fled before the men of Ai. And the men of Ai struck down about 36 men, for they chased them from before the gate as far as Shebarim, and struck them down on the descent. Therefore the hearts of the people melted and became like water. Then Joshua tore his clothes and fell to the earth on his face before the ark of the Lord until evening, he and the elders of Israel. And they put dust on their heads. And Joshua said, Alas, Lord God, why have you brought this people over the Jordan at all, to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us? Oh, that we had been content and dwelt on the other side of the Jordan. O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turns its back before its enemies? For the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land will hear it and surround us and cut off our name from the earth. Then what will you do for your great name? So the Lord said to Joshua, Get up. Why do you Israel has sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant which I commanded them. For they have even taken some of the accursed things, and have both stolen and deceived, and they have also put it among their own stuff. Therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turned their backs before their enemies, because they have become doomed to destruction. Neither will I be with you any more, unless you destroy the accursed from among you. Get up, sanctify the people, and say, Sanctify yourselves for tomorrow, because thus says the Lord God of Israel. There is an accursed thing in your midst, O Israel. You cannot stand before your enemies until you take away the accursed thing from among you. In the morning, therefore, you shall be brought according to your tribes, and it shall be that the tribe which the Lord takes shall come according to families, and the family which the Lord takes shall come by households, and the household which the Lord takes shall come man by man. Then it shall be that he who is taken with the accursed thing shall be burned with fire, he and all that he has, because he has transgressed the covenant of the Lord, and because he has done a disgraceful thing in Israel. So Joshua rose early in the morning, and brought Israel by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken. He brought the clan of Judah, and he took the family of the Zarhites, and he brought the family of the Zarhites man by man, and Zabdi was taken. Then he brought his household man by man, and Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, was taken. Now Joshua said to Achan, "My son, I beg you, give glory to the Lord God of Israel, and make me now what you have done. Do not hide it from me." And Achan answered Joshua and said, "Indeed, I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel, and this is what I have done. When I saw among the spoils a beautiful Babylonian garment, 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold weighing 50 shekels, I coveted them and took them. And there they are, hidden in the earth, in the midst of my tent, with the silver under it." So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran to the tent, and there it was, hidden in his tent, with the silver under it. And they took them from the midst of the tent, brought them to Joshua, and to all the children of them out before the Lord. Then Joshua, and all Israel with him, took Achan, the son of Zerah, the silver, the garment, the wedge of gold, his sons, his daughters, his oxen, his donkeys, his sheep, his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them to the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, "Why have you troubled us? The Lord will trouble you this day." So all Israel stoned him with stones, and they burned them with fire after they had stoned them with stones. Then they raised over him a great heap of stones, still there to this day. So the Lord turned from the fierceness of his anger. Therefore, the name of that place has been called the Valley of Achor to this day. Joshua 8. Now the Lord said to Joshua, "Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed. Take all the people of war with you, and arise, go up to Ai. See, I have given into your hand the king of Ai, his people, his city, and his land. And you shall do to Ai and its king as you did to Jericho and its king. Only its spoil and its cattle you shall take as booty for yourselves. Lay an ambush for the city behind it." So Joshua arose, and all the people of war, to go up against Ai. And Joshua chose 30,000 mighty men of valor, and sent them away by night. And he commanded them, saying, "Behold, you shall lie in ambush against the city, behind the city. Do not go very far from the city, but all of you be ready. Then I, and all the people who are with me, will approach the city. And it will come about, when they come out against us at the first, that we shall flee before them. For they will come out after us, till we have drawn them from the city. For they will say, They are fleeing before us as at the first. Therefore, we will flee before them. Then you shall rise from the ambush and seize the city, for the Lord your God will deliver it into your hand. And it will be, when you have taken the city, that you shall set the city on fire. According to the commandment of the Lord you shall do. See, I have commanded you." Joshua therefore sent them out, and they went to lie in ambush, and stayed between Bethel and Ai, on the west side of Ai. But Joshua lodged that night among the people. Then Joshua rose up early in the morning, and mustered the people, and went up, he and the elders of the valley. Now it happened, when the king of Ai saw it, that the men of the city hurried and rose early and went out against Israel to battle, he and all his people, at an appointed place before the plain. But he did not know that there was an ambush against him behind the city. And Joshua and all Israel made as if they were beaten before them, and fled by the way of the wilderness. So all the people who were in Ai were called together to pursue them. And they pursued Joshua and were drawn away from the city. There was not a man left in Ai or Bethel who did not go out after Israel. So they left the city open and pursued Israel. Then the Lord said to Joshua, Stretch out the spear that is in your hand toward Ai, for I will give it into your hand." And Joshua stretched out the spear that was in his hand toward the city. So those in ambush arose quickly out of their place. They ran at the city and took it, and hurried to set the city on fire. And when the men of Ai looked behind them, they saw, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended to heaven. So they had no power to flee this way or that way, and the people who had fled to the wilderness turned back on the pursuers. Now when Joshua and all Israel saw that the ambush had taken the city, and that the smoke of the city ascended, they turned back and struck down the men of Ai. Then the others came out of the city against them. So they were caught in the midst of Israel, some on this side and some on that side. And they struck them down, so that they let none of them remain or escape. But the king of Ai they took alive, and brought him to Joshua. And it came to pass, when Israel had made slaying all the inhabitants of Ai in the field, in the wilderness where they pursued them, and when they all had fallen by the edge of the sword, until they were consumed, that all the Israelites returned to Ai, and struck it with the edge of the sword. So it was. Beth Baal Meon, Jehaza, Kedemoth, Mephaath, Kirjathaim, Sibmah, Zereth Shahar on the mountain of the valley, Beth Peor, the slopes of Pisgah, and Beth Jeshemoth, all the cities of the plain, and all the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses had struck with the princes of Midian, Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Reba, who were princes of Sihon dwelling in the country. The children of Israel also killed with the sword Balaam the son of Beor, the soothsayer, among those who were killed by them. And the border of the children of Reuben was the bank of the Jordan. This was the inheritance of the children of Reuben, according to their families, the cities, and their villages. Moses also had given an inheritance to the tribe of Gad, to the children of Gad according to their families. Their territory was Jazer, and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the Ammonites as far as Aroer, which is before Rabbah, and from Heshbon to Ramoth Mizpah and Betanim, and from Mahanaim to the border of Debir. And in the valley of Beth Haram, Beth Nimrah, Succoth, and Zaphon, the rest of the kingdom of Sihon, king of Heshbon, with the Jordan as its border, as far as the edge of the sea of Kinnereth, on the other side of the Jordan eastward. This is the inheritance of the children of Gad, according to their families, the cities, and their villages. Moses also had given an inheritance to half the tribe of Manasseh. It was for half the tribe of the children of Manasseh, according to their families. Their territory was from Mahanaim, all Bashan, all the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, and all the towns of Jair,
Hi
which
to
are in Bashan,
Gladys Ngina.
60 cities.
How are
Half
you,
of Gilead,
Gladys
and
Ngina?
Ashtaroth, and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan, were for the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, for half of the children of Machir, according
Gladys
to their
Ngina,
families.
like my video.
These are the areas which Moses
Give
had
me a like
distributed as an
and
inheritance in the
subscribe.
plains of Moab, on the other side of the Jordan,
Gladys Ngina.
by Jericho eastward. But to the tribe of Levi, Moses had given no inheritance. The Lord God of Israel was their
Subscribe,
inheritance,
like, and
as he
share
had
to your
said to them.
friends.
Joshua, chapter 14. These are the areas which the children of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest, the son of Nun, and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel, distributed as an inheritance to them. Their inheritance was by lot, as the Lord had commanded by the hand of Moses, for the 9 tribes and the half-tribe. For Moses had given the inheritance of the half-tribe on the other side of the Jordan, but to the Levites he had given no inheritance among them.
Thank you for the
For the children
light.
of Joseph were 2 tribes,
Thank you for the
Manasseh
light.
and Ephraim, and they
Share
gave
and
no
God
part to
bless
the
you.
Levites in the land, except cities to dwell in, with their
Haki
common lands for
kizungu
their
wewe.
livestock and their property.
Uelewi
As the
kizungu?
Lord had commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did,
Kesho nitakuwekea
and they
Kiswahili.
divided the land. Then the children of Judah came to Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite said to him, You know the word which the Lord said to Moses, the man of God, concerning you and me in Kadesh Barnea. I was 40 years old when Moses the servant of the Lord sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and I brought back word to him as it was. Nevertheless, my brethren who went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed the Lord my God. So Moses swore on that day, saying, Surely the land where your foot has trodden shall be your inheritance and your children's forever, because you are my God. And now, behold, the Lord has kept me alive, as he said, these 45 years, ever since the Lord spoke this word to Moses, while Israel wandered in the wilderness. And now, here I am this day, 85 years old. As yet strong.
Na jina la mtu huyo aliitwa Elimeleki, na jina la mkewe Naomi, na majina ya wanawe wawili Maloni na Kilioni, Waefrathi wa Bethlehemu ya Yuda. Wakafika nchi ya Moabu, wakakaa huko. Akafa Elimeleki mumewe Naomi, na yule mwanamke akasalia na wanawe wawili. Nao wakaoa wake katika wanawake wa Moabu, na jina la mmoja aliitwa Orpa, na jina la wapili Ruthu. Wakakaa huko yapata miaka 10. Wakafa na Maloni na Kilioni wote wawili, na huyo mwanamke akawa amefiwa na wanawe wawili na mumewe pia. Ndipo alipoondoka yeye na wakweze ili kurudi kutoka nchi ya Moabu, maana huko katika nchi ya Moabu amesikia ya kwamba Bwana amewajilia watu wake na kuwapa chakula. Basi akatoka pale alipokuwapo na wakwezi wawili pamoja naye, wakashika njia ili kurudi mpaka nchi ya Yuda. Kisha Naomi akawaambia wakweze wawili, Nendeni sasa, karejee kila mmoja nyumbani kwa mamaye. Bwana awatendee mema ninyi, kama ninyi mlivyowatendea mema hao waliofariki, na mimi pia. Bwana na awajalie kuona raha kila mmoja nyumbani kwa mumewe. Kisha akawabusu, nao wakapaza sauti zao wakalia. Wakamwambia, La, sivyo, lakini tutarudi pamoja nawe kwa watu wako. Naye Naomi akasema, Enyi wanangu, mrejee, kwani kufuatana na mimi? Je, mimi ninao watoto wa kiume tena tumboni mwangu, hata wawe waume zenu? Enyi wanangu, mrejee, nendeni zenu, kwa kuwa mimi ni mzee, siwezi kupata mume tena. Kama ningesema natumaini, kama ningepata mume hata usiku huu na kuzaa watoto wa kiume, je, mngesubiri hata watakapokuwa watu wazima? Mngejizuia msiwe na waume? La, sivyo wanangu, maana ni vigumu kwangu kuliko kwenu, kwa sababu mkono wa Bwana umetoka juu yangu. Nao wakapaza sauti zao wakalia tena, na Orpa akambusu mkwewe, lakini Ruthu akaambatana naye. Naye akasema, Tazama, shemeji yako amerejea kwa watu wake na kwa Mungu wake. Basi urejee wewe kwa shemeji yako. Ruthu akasema, Usinisihi nikuache, nirejee nisifuatane nawe, maana wewe uendako nitakwenda, na wewe ukaapo nitakaa. Watu wako watakuwa watu wangu, na Mungu wako atakuwa Mungu wangu. Pale utakapokufa nitakufa nami, na papo hapo nitazikwa. Bwana anitende vivyo na kuzidi, ili kufa tu utatutenga wewe nami. Basi alipomwona kuwa amekaza nia yake kufuatana naye, aliacha kusema naye. Hivyo hao wakaendelea wote wawili hata walipofika Bethlehemu. Na ikawa walipofika Bethlehemu, mji wote ulitaharuki kwa habari zao. Nao wanawake wakasema, Je, huyu ni Naomi? Akawaambia, msiniite Naomi, niiteni Mara, kwa sababu Mwenyezi Mungu amenitenda mambo machungu sana. Mimi nalitoka hali nimejaa, naye Bwana amenirudisha sina kitu. Kwani kuniita Naomi, ikiwa Bwana ameshuhudia juu yangu na Mwenyezi Mungu amenitesa? Basi Naomi akarudi pamoja na Ruthu Mmoabi mkwewe, ambao walirudi kutoka nchi ya Moabu. Nao wakafika Bethlehemu mwanzo wa mavuno ya shairi. Mlango wa pili. Basi huyo Naomi alikuwa na ndugu ya mumewe, mtu mkuu mwenye mali wa jamaa yake Elimeleki, na jina lake aliitwa Boazi. Naye Ruthu Mmoabi akamwambia Naomi, sasa niende kondeni niokote masazo ya masuke mama yake yule ambaye nitaona kibali machoni pake. Akamwambia, haya mwanangu, nenda. Basi akaenda, akaja akaokota masazo kondeni nyuma ya wavunaji. Na bahati yake ikamtukia kwamba akaifika sehemu ya shamba iliyokuwa mali yake huyo Boazi, ambaye alikuwa wa jamaa yake Elimeleki. Na tazama, Boazi akaja kutoka Bethlehemu kuamkia wavunaji. Akasema, Bwana akae nanyi. Nao akamwitikia, Bwana na akubariki. Kisha Boazi akamuuliza mtumishi aliyewasimamia wavunaji, na huyu je, ni msichana wa nani? Yule msimamizi aliyewasimamia wavunaji akajibu akasema, ni yule msichana Moabi aliyerudi pamoja na Naomi kutoka nchi ya Moabu. Naye akasema, tafadhali niruhusu kukota masazo na kukusanya nyuma ya wavunaji kati ya miganda. Basi akaja, naye ameshinda tangu asubuhi hata sasa, isipokuwa alikaa nyumbani kitambo kidogo. Basi Boazi akamwambia Ruthu, mwanangu, sikiliza, wewe usiende kukota masazo katika shamba lingine, wala usiondoke hapa, lakini ukae papa hapa karibu na wasichana wangu. Macho yako na yaelekee konde walivunalo, ufuatane nao. Je, sikuagiza vijana wasikuguse? Tena ukiona kiu, uende kwenye vyombo, nawe uyanywe walioyateka hao vijana. Ndipo aliposujudia akainama mpaka chini, akamwambia, jinsi gani nimepata kibali machoni pako, hata ukanifahamu mimi niliye mgeni? Naye Boazi akajibu akamwambia, nimeelezwa sana yote uliyomfanyia mkweo tangu alipokufa mumeo, na jinsi ulivyowaacha baba yako na mama yako na nchi yako uliyozaliwa, ukawafikiria watu usiowajua tangu hapo. Bwana akujazi kwa kazi yako, nawe upewe thawabu kamili na Bwana Mungu wa Israeli chini ya mabawa yake. Ndipo aliposema, Bwana wangu, na nipate kibali machoni pako, kwa sababu wewe umeniburudisha moyo na kumwambia mema mjakazi wako, ingawa mimi si kama mmoja wapo wa wajakazi wako. Tena wakati wa chakula, huyo Boazi akamwambia, karibu kwetu katika mkate wetu, na ulichovye tonge lako katika siki yetu. Basi akaketi pamoja na wavunaji, nao akampitishia bisi, naye akala akashiba, hata akasaza. Naye alipoinuka tena ili aende kukota masazo, huyo Boazi aliwaagiza vijana wake akisema, mwacheni aokote hata kati ya miganda, wala msimkemee. Tena toleeni kidogo katika matita na kukiacha, na akiokote, wala msimkataze. Basi Ruthu akaokota masazo kondeni hata jioni. Kisha akazipura zile nafaka alizoziokota, zikawa yapata 1,000 ya shairi. Akajitwika akaenda zake mjini, akamwonyesha mkwewe zile alizoziokota. Akavitoa vile vyakula alivyovisaza alipokwisha kushiba, akampa. Basi mkwewe akamuuliza, je, umeokota wapi leo? Umefanya kazi wapi? Na abarikiwe yeye aliyekufahamu. Naye akamwarifu mkwewe ni nani ambaye alifanya kazi kwake. Akasema, yule mtu niliyefanya kazi kwake leo, jina lake aitwa Boazi. Naye Naomi akamwambia mkwewe, Na abarikiwe huyo na Bwana, ambaye hakuuacha wema wake, wala kwa hao walio hai, wala kwao waliokufa. Kisha Naomi akamwambia, mtu huyu ni wa mbari yetu, mojawapo wa jamaa yetu aliye karibu. Naye Ruthu Mmoabu akasema, naam, akaniambia, ukae papa hapa karibu na vijana wangu hata watakapomaliza mavuno yangu yote. Kisha Naomi akamwambia Ruthu mkwewe, mwanangu, ni vizuri wewe ufuatane na wasichana wake, wala watu wasikukute katika konde lingine lolote. Hivyo yeye akafuatana na wasichana wake Boazi na kuokota hata mwisho wa mavuno ya shairi na mavuno ya ngano pia, naye alikuwa akikaa kwa mkwewe. Mlango wa tatu. Kisha Naomi akamwambia mkwewe, je, mwanangu, si vizuri nikutafutie raha ili upate mema? Basi na huyu Boazi, je, siye wambari wetu, ambaye ulikuwapo pamoja na wasichana wake? Tazama, usiku wa leo atakuwa akipepeta shairi pale ugani. Basi wewe oga, ujipake mafuta, ujivike mavazi yako, kisha uende kwenye uga. Walakini usijionyeshe kwake mtu yule, ila atakapokwisha kula na kunywa. Nayo itakuwa wakati atakapolala, utapaangalia mahali alalapo, nawe uingie uifunue miguu yake ujilaze hapo, na yeye atakuambia utakalofanya. Akamwambia, hayo yote unenayo mimi nitayafanya. Basi akashuka mpaka ugani, akafanya yote kama vile mkwewe alivyomwagiza. Ikawa huyo Boazi alipokwisha kula na kunywa, na moyo wake umekunjuka, alikwenda kulala penye mwisho wa chungu ya nafaka. Na huyo mwanamke akaja taratibu, akaifunua miguu yake, akajilaza papo hapo. Na ikawa usiku wa manane, yule mtu akasituka, akajigeuza, na kumbe yupo mwanamke amelala miguuni pake. Akasema, ama ni nani wewe? Akamjibu, ni mimi Ruthu, mjakazi wako. Uitande nguo yako juu ya mjakazi wako, kwa kuwa ndiwe wa jamaa aliye karibu. Akamwambia, mwanangu, ubarikiwe na Bwana, umezidi kuonyesha fadhili zako mwisho kuliko mwanzo, kwa vile usivyowafuata vijana, kama ni maskini kama ni matajiri. Basi mwanangu, usiogope, mimi nitakufanyia yote uyanenayo, kwa maana mji wote pia wa watu wangu wanakujua ya kwamba umwanamke mwema. Tena ndiyo kweli ya kuwa mimi ni jamaa yako aliye karibu, lakini kuna mtu wa jamaa aliye karibu kuliko mimi. Wewe ungoje usiku huu, kisha asubuhi, kama akikubali kukufanyia impasavyo jamaa, haya na akufanyie; lakini ikiwa hataki yeye, basi mimi nitakufanyia impasavyo jamaa. Bwana aishivyo, ulale wewe hata asubuhi. Huyo mwanamke akalala miguuni pake hata asubuhi, akaondoka mapema, asijaweza mtu kumtambua mwenziwe, maana Boazi amesema, isijulikane kabisa ya kuwa mwanamke alifika penye uga. Tena alisema, lete hapa shela yako uliyoivaa uishike. Naye akaishika, naye akampimia vipimo 6 vya shairi, akamtwika. Kisha huyo mwanamke akaenda zake mjini. Basi alipofika kwa mkwewe, huyo akamuuliza, je, mwanangu, imekuwaje? Akamwambia yote yule mtu aliyomfanyia. Akasema, na vipimo hivi 6 vya shairi amenipa, maana akaniambia, usiende kwa mkweo mikono mitupu. Naye mkwewe akasema, basi mwanangu, tulia hata utakapojua jinsi litakavyotukia jambo hili, kwa sababu mtu huyu hataridhika asipolimaliza jambo hili leo. Mlango wa 4. Basi Boazi akakwea kwenda mpaka langoni, akaketi pale. Na tazama, yule mtu wa jamaa aliyekuwa karibu, ambaye Boazi amemnena, akapita, naye akamwita, haya, wewe karibu uketi hapa. Naye akaja akaketi. Kisha akatoa watu 10 miongoni mwa wazee wa mji, akawaambia, ninyi nanyi ketini hapa. Wakaketi. Kisha akamwambia yule jamaa, huyu Naomi aliyerudi hapa kutoka nchi ya Moabu anauza sehemu ya ardhi aliyokuwa nayo ndugu yetu Elimeleki, Nami ilikuwa nia yangu nikujulishe wewe na kukwambia uinunue mbele ya hawa waliopo na mbele ya wazee wa watu wangu. Kama wewe utaikomboa, haya uikomboe; lakini kama hutaikomboa, uniambie, ili nijue mimi, kwa kuwa hakuna mtu wa kuikomboa ila wewe, na baada yako ni mimi. Naye akasema, nitaikomboa mimi. Ndipo Boazi aliposema, siku ile utakapolinunua shamba mkononi mwa Naomi, unamnunua Ruthu pia, huyo Mmoabi, mkewe marehemu, ili makusudi umwinulie marehemu jina katika urithi wake. Basi yule jamaa aliyekuwa wa karibu akasema, mimi sitaweza kulikomboa kwa nafasi yangu, nisije nikauharibu. Basi haki yangu ya kulikomboa ujichukulie wewe, maana mimi sitaweza kulikomboa. Basi hii ilikuwa desturi zamani za kale katika Israeli, kwa habari ya kukomboa na kubadiliana, ili kuyahakikisha yote, mtu huvua kiatu chake na kumpa. Ndivyo walivyohakikisha neno katika Israeli. Basi yule jamaa akamwambia Boazi, wewe ujinunulie mwenyewe. Akavua kiatu chake. Naye Boazi akawaambia wale wazee na watu wote, leo hivi ninyi ni mashahidi ya kwamba mimi nimenunua yote yaliyokuwa ya Elimeleki na yote yaliyokuwa ya Kilioni na Maloni mkononi mwa Naomi. Tena huyu Ruthu Mmoabi, mkewe Maloni, nimemnunua awe mke wangu, makusudi nipate kumwinulia marehemu jina katika urithi wake, jina lake marehemu lisikatike miongoni mwa ndugu zake, wala langoni pa mji wake. Leo hivi ninyi ni mashahidi. Na watu wote waliokuwapo langoni na wale wazee wakasema, naam, sisi ni mashahidi. Bwana na amfanye mwanamke huyu aingiaye nyumbani mwako kuwa kama Raheli na kama Lea, wale wawili walioijenga nyumba ya Israeli. Nawe ufanikiwe katika Efrata na kuwa mashuhuri katika Bethlehemu. Nyumba yako na ifanane na nyumba yake Peresi, ambaye kwamba Tamari alimzalia Yuda, kwa wazao atakaokupa Bwana katika mwanamke huyu. Basi Boazi akamtoa Ruthu, naye akawa mke wake, naye akaingia kwake, na Bwana akamjalia kuchukua mimba, naye akazaa mtoto wa kiume. Nao wale wanawake wakamwambia Naomi, na ahimidiwe Bwana asiyekuacha leo, hali huna wa jamaa aliye karibu. Jina lake huyu na liwe kuu katika Israeli, naye atakurejezea uhai wako na kukuangalia katika uzee wako, kwa maana mkweo ambaye akupenda naye anakufaa kuliko watoto 7 ndiye aliyemzaa. Basi Naomi akamtwaa yule mtoto, akamweka kifuani pake, akawa mlezi wake. Na wale wanawake waliokuwa jirani zake wakampa jina, wakisema, Naomi amezaliwa mwana. Wakamwita jina lake Obedi. Yeye ndiye baba yake Yese, aliye baba yake Daudi. Hivi ndivyo vizazi vya Peresi. Peresi alimzaa Hesroni, na Hesroni akamzaa Ramu, na Ramu akamzaa Aminadabu, na Aminadabu akamzaa Nashoni, na Nashoni akamzaa Salmoni, na Salmoni akamzaa Boazi, na Boazi akamzaa Obedi, na Obedi akamzaa Yese, na Yese akamzaa Daudi.